Okay, so Daunte Wright refuses to cooperate with the police. A female police officer pulls out her taser. Oh, whoops, it wasn't a taser. She fires, kills him. Okay, and everybody's going ballistic. And the question becomes, how in the world is it possible that a cop can mistake a taser for a gun? Well, have we seen this before? Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dread Show.
Okay, let's take a look at this one. This was reported by ABC 13 in Houston. Let's just go ahead and watch it. It says, by the way, rookie cop shoots man, mistakes gun for taser. Okay, so the police officer, there's a male police officer who's on the ground with the dude and rolling around. What does she do? She comes up behind and watch.
That's dash cam video showing the moment a Kansas City police officer shot a man during a traffic stop. Rookie officer Brinley Blood says she meant to use her taser. Instead, she grabbed her gun. 35-year-old Akira Lewis was pulled over for a suspected seatbelt violation last May. When he refused to show his ID, Officer Blood was called over. Lewis and another officer tussle around, and that's when Officer Blood fires her weapon. Blood is charged in this and has resigned from the force. Lewis was also charged.
Okay, so let's go ahead and read the description here. And it repeats a lot of what we said here. Dashcam video released Monday shows a Kansas police officer shooting and wounding a man in a case in which the rookie officer told investigators she mistakenly fired her firearm instead of her taser. My question is that why she even brought the taser out in the first place? If you go back and watch, let's take a look at this again. Okay, so what we have is a suspect on top of the police officer. Okay, here she comes. Why doesn't she just get on him and pull him off? Well, you know why. She's not big enough. And so what does she do? Pulls out a taser. Keep in mind, if the taser doesn't work, and the prongs don't always stick right, about 50% of the time, she's going to be given him plenty of time to get a hold of that officer's gun. She needed to go hands-on, get on him, pull him off. You know, like get in the fight. Instead, she pulls out her taser. Oops, oh no, it wasn't a taser, it was a gun, and she shoots him dead. The video provided in response to an open records request from the patrol vehicle of an officer who pulled over 35-year-old Akira Lewis for a suspected seatbelt violation in May 2018 near downtown Lawrence. Okay, people are going to say, he was shot because he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. No, the police didn't pull him over and say, oh, wait, he's not wearing a seatbelt. Shoot him, fire. Didn't happen like that. Yes, the seatbelt was the initiating reason for them to pull him over, but he wasn't shot because he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. Lewis is heard in the video telling the white officer that he was pulled over because he is black. Gee, we haven't heard that one before. And insists on seeing a supervisor because only black people get pulled over for no seatbelt. Be honest with you, I got nailed once for that myself. This was back in the time when we were starting to do the seatbelt thing, right? And so a lot of us weren't used to it. I mean, I was a late bloomer when it came to seatbelt usage. And insists on seeing a supervisor. There is no supervisor to be seen. It's a seatbelt violation. You're going to get a ticket for it. What's the supervisor going to do for you? Come over there and say, oh, you know what? Yeah, he's not wearing his seatbelt. Well, let's just let him go anyway. Asking to see a supervisor is a delay tactic. It doesn't fool the cops one bit. When he refuses to provide identification, can't do that. Let me say it real loud and clear. If you get pulled over, you must show your ID. And I don't give a damn how long you've been a sovereign citizen. It makes no difference. When the police pull you over, you got to give them ID. And continues arguing. Backup Officer Brinley Blood, who also is white, was summoned. She is seen shooting Lewis when he punches and tackles the officer who initiated the traffic stop. Blood, who resigned from the police force in January after being placed on paid leave, is charged with aggravated battery. Lewis was treated at a hospital and is charged with several misdemeanors. Okay, he wasn't dead. I'm sorry. I said earlier that he had been shot to death, but he wasn't, including battery against a law enforcement officer. The affidavit in the case against Blood said she didn't realize she had shot Lewis until she looked for the taser wires to see if they had hit their mark. Wow, wait. She fired a gun, and it's probably a Glock, and she didn't realize she had shot a gun until she went looking for the taser wires? Whoa. She said during her interview with investigators, I shot him. I pulled my firearm instead of my taser, the affidavit said. And look, we watched this event. She clearly thought it was the taser. I can't believe that people make this mistake. It sounds really stupid. And I really think that I'd rather have somebody else being a cop than somebody who can't tell the difference between the two. But there was no reason to believe that she really wanted to kill the guy. Now let's take a look at some more interesting tidbits here. All right. Cop on train shooting. I mistook gun for a taser. A former San Francisco Bay Area rapid transit police officer, I think that's a train that runs around the Bay Area in California, testified Friday that he mistakenly pulled out his pistol instead of a stun gun when he shot and killed an unarmed black man who was lying face down on an Oakland train platform last year. Johannes Meserly broke down in tears. Oh, I remember this case. Yeah, okay, I remember this case. Broke down in tears as he told jurors in his murder trial that he heard a pop that didn't sound like a gunshot. Meserly said he thought the taser had malfunctioned. I thought that their guns were a lot louder than this. I mean, they're not wearing headgear. It's got to be pretty loud. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, at any rate, but this was the killing of Oscar Grant. I'm not going to go into that case here, but just to say that this is another example where a cop claims, at least, that they pulled a gun when they thought they were pulling a taser. Georgia Sheriff's deputy mistakes gun for taser, shoots teen in the arm. Authorities revealed more information Tuesday about the shooting of a young man who was wounded when a Baldwin County Sheriff's deputy shot the man in the arm while taking him into custody Monday. Deputies had been called there about a son who had reportedly struck his mother in the face. One of the deputies who got there first was trying to arrest the son when the son would not comply. Do you see a pattern here? Okay, the deputy called for backup and, according to the statement, continued talking to the son until two more deputies got there. When they arrived, they went to take the son, Jamel Jackson, 18, into custody, and Jackson resisted. A brief physical struggle ensued. Okay, let's go look around a little bit more. This one says Cochran meets Torres family. Almost 1 year after the shooting death of 24-year-old Everardo Torres, his family is still seeking justice and demanding that changes be made to ensure no one is ever killed in the manner Torres was killed. On October 27, 2002, Torres was shot by Madera police officer Marcy Noriega, who said she intended to grab her taser to subdue Torres and accidentally drew her .40 caliber Glock instead. She fired a single shot into Torres's chest. Now, actually, I've never shot a Glock, but it's got to be louder than a taser. Attorney Johnnie Cochran, stood on the front porch of the Torres' South Street home Friday and said he took the Torres' case because he was very impressed with the family. Okay, I'm not going to go into all the family deal here. I'm going to get down to what happened. Okay, so it says here, I am heartbroken. Rosa Marie Torres translated for her mother. I am still very upset toward this person who took my son's life. She said it is not right that Noriega, that's the police officer, will not face criminal charges, and added that she does not understand how that could have happened. To be shot while handcuffed and in the back of a car, that should not have happened in this civilized society. to be shot under these circumstances, where the story is given that the officer thought that she was drawing her taser. This was a man handcuffed in the back seat of a car, and he was shot with a Glock. Okay, so what actually happened is not clear. They don't really say much here. I'm going to look through here and see if I can find something. So I go to another article from the Fresno Bee, and it says here, it has been nearly a year since Madera police officer Marcy Noriega said she mistook her gun for a non-lethal taser and shot 24-year-old Everardo Torres while trying to subdue him. Okay, so what can we deduce from all this? First of all, we have 5 cases here. 3 of them involve female police officers. And I'm kind of looking at this and saying, it seems to me that what's happening is that the police officers are not willing to get in there and mix it up with the suspects. They're trying to control a situation without any chance of getting hurt themselves. And I think that that's a problem here. I think that there are police officers out there more willing to use a taser than they should. You know what? When you have a guy who's just being unruly, sometimes you just got to get in there and get him to the ground. But I think there's a lot of police officers out there who are just simply physically incapable of it, or simply don't have the confidence to get into a street fight. And the other commonality here is a complete unwillingness to cooperate with the police. It's in all 5 of these cases. You have a suspect who just won't cooperate. They fight, and this is what happens. I'm not saying that they're to blame for the shooting, but their actions led to it. And guess what? Maybe the best thing to do is, instead of fighting with the police, go along with it. If they're going to arrest you, put your hands behind your back. Fighting with police ain't going to stop anything. They're at no point are they going to say, hey, you're a little too tough for us. Just go ahead and go on your way. Not going to happen. They're just going to bring in more police officers. You get in your car, they're going to chase you. If you refuse to get out of your car, they're going to pull you out. And somewhere along the line, that message has not gotten through to our kids. And when they grow up, they end up doing really dumb things like these people did. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.